Hello, boss babes of South Africa. I'm Sam.
And I'm Charlene.
And we are hosts of The Great Equalizer podcast, a parenting podcast that comes with no filters and no judges. And we are here to wish you a very happy Women's Month. And to celebrate, we are discussing our top 5 best business tips from our own experience in starting the Great Equalizer podcast and carrying on with it for almost a decade now.
So we noticed when we transitioned into motherhood from our very busy corporate careers that keeping the momentum going was tricky because now we're focused on motherhood. However, we still had a desperate need for channeling some energy into something, some outlet, whether it was a creative type outlet or a project. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if other mothers feel the same way, but I firmly believe that when you become a mother, something changes in you, and that is how this podcast of ours came about. And so, similarly, if you are one of those people, whether it is that you're finding an idea for a new project just because you feel like you want something for yourself, or you've just been inspired by a brand new idea because you've just created life in having a new baby and now you feel you need to constantly create new things, if you're one of those people, we're talking to you and we have some great tips to share with you from our experience.
Yeah, so we might not be perfect and we really haven't done this in the perfect way, but you know what? That's a hard lesson that we came to learn in parenting, hence the Great Equalizer, because kids will knock you down at the knees. So as I said, this has been almost a decade in the works that we've been working on our own, call it a side hustle, call it a passion project, and something that if it flies, we hope that it can take us to greater places. It's already taken us to places that we never imagined. Really. And here are some of the tips that kept us going over the years and keep us motivated to work on our project.
So number 1 for us is always remember your why. There was a reason why this project or this business or this new product that you wanted to develop or this hustle that you're embarking on inspired you at one point. There is a why behind it, and remember that why. Hold it close to your heart, because that is the thing that will keep you going when the trials and tribulations and the roadblocks come up ahead and you don't know how you're going to find the energy to keep going. If the why is there and you remember why you started, you will be able to keep going and you'll keep finding your passion to keep pursuing it.
Number 2, and this is probably the hardest, is you need to stay consistent. It's something that we fail at daily, but that doesn't stop us from getting back on that proverbial horse and keep trucking on. I'm mixing metaphors severely, but you know what? Like I say, it's never going to be perfect. What this means is if your business is still a seed, or your side hustle, your passion project is still a seed in the making, do one thing every day that works on your business, be it the CI, your brand identity, what you want the name to be, who your audience is. Do one thing. It could be 5 minutes. You could be sitting there for 5 hours, but it's also dependent on your main job, your tasks at hand, whether you are working at home or in an office. Whatever the case might be, every individual is different, but you need to set aside those 5 minutes to yourself to sit and work on that passion project, because you're doing it for you. If your business is a little bit more established, that also means thinking of ways to build and grow it, but not forgetting that, again, going back to number 1, your why you started. Stay consistent, think of ways to push the limits going forward.
To add to Sam's point, in point number 3, you'll need to always remember your target audience and your target market. Who are you talking to? This would depend very much on where you are in your own journey and in motherhood, for example, because your passion project or your hustle might have come from an inspiration that you had due to your own experience. As a result, your audience will probably most likely be someone, your audience or your target market will be someone very similar to you. So if it is something that will inspire you or that will drive you, whether it be a product that you're selling or a service that you're creating for someone, if it is something that you feel you would benefit from, then your audience will feel the same way. And that will evolve over time, because as you evolve as a person, in life, your needs and wants change. And so your project will need to evolve with your audience and with your target market. If you always keep them top of mind and you stay true and authentic to yourself, your audience and your target market will loyally follow you.
Our fourth tip, and this might be a bit frou-frou. It might up in the air. It might sound a bit schmaltzy, to some, but I really firmly stand by this, and that's to go with your gut, to go with your instinct. Any new mother or parent who is starting a business and wants to follow a passion project or a side hustle will know that in becoming a parent, you develop this crazy sixth sense. Yeah, it's real, guys, and I think you need to tap into it. Use it not just for mothering, but for your business as well. What I'm not referring to is those all-important tasks that might seem like doing your taxes. Once you're done doing your taxes, it's gonna feel good. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean things that block you from moving forward. A phone call that you need to make to somebody, a person who's getting in the way that you don't really gel with, that doesn't really synergize with your values or your company values or your brand identity. For us as podcasters, to give you a good example, it could be a guest on our show whose values don't necessarily align with ours. It could be a topic that might not really fit into what we're experiencing or what we want to discuss or what our why is. And if it doesn't, then we've really learned the hard way to say no to those things and to really go where the good flow takes us. So if there's something stopping you or someone stopping you from moving forward in your business, identify those things. Again, not the hard tasks that are going to feel good once you've done them. You know what I'm talking about. Not those hard tasks. I'm talking about things that really stunt your business or your passion project's growth.
And to that point, it brings us to number 5. Remember to have fun. If something's blocking your flow or your energy, that is not fun, and that is not what's making you feel inspired. So remember to follow the fun. Have fun with it. It might seem whimsical because we're talking about a business idea after all, but life's so serious and so hard, and so is parenting and motherhood and oftentimes womanhood. So if you can find a way to keep having fun and to stay inspired, then whatever you do with your project or your hustle or business idea, call it what you like, you will feel it less like you're doing work and more like you're just living your passion.
Ladies, we really hope that this Women's Month, our 5 tips will serve you in keeping your passion project, your side hustle, to keep your dream alive, whatever it is that gets you up in the day, besides your children, of course. We're here because we're all mothers. That's why Charlene and I started our own side hustle. But we know that there are so many mothers out there with an idea, a seed that they want to develop and grow. And we really hope that these 5 tips have helped you to do just that. Happy Women's Month to the Boss Babes of South Africa.
If you want to catch up with us or see what we get up to on the Great Equalizer podcast, tune into our show wherever you get your podcasts, or you can head over to our website, www.thegreatequalizer.co.za, or check us out on all the social media platforms. Hope to see you there.